There we go. You ready?
Yeah, why not?
Because we're a bit behind.
That's all right. But we're live. Are we live?
Yes, I think we're on. Okay. You've worked out an outro. Do you want to work out an intro or an intro thing, or is that too much?
You're asking too much.
I'm asking too much. I'm sorry.
At this early stage of the proceedings, we're live.
D&G11
is
on. Finally, yes, I think we're on. Even though we're 6 minutes late.
That's okay.
But I'll let you. You've worked out an outro.
Point
it
out
to the audience.
Well, I can't exactly
point
or is
that
but they can clearly
you're
asking
too
much.
I'm asking too much.
Oh, this early stage of the.
Oh my God! Look at how clear that is. Look at how clear our
finally,
fingers are right up close.
Even though we're 6 minutes late.
That's ridiculous.
But I'll let you. You've worked out an outro.
Point out
to the
webcam.
audience.
I can't exactly.
We have
eight. You're asking much. Oh, this is the early stage of the.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Look at how clear that is. Look at how clear our
finally,
fingers are right up close.
Even though we're 6 minutes late.
That's ridiculous.
But the best thing. Worked out an outro. The best thing from my point of view.
I can't exactly.
We have 8.
You're asking
Oh my God! Look at how clear that is. Look at how clear our
Finally,
fingers are right up close.
That's ridiculous. But the best thing. Worked out an outro. The best thing from my point of view. We have 8.
Oh my God! Look at how clear that is. Look at how clear our fingers are right up close.
That's ridiculous. But the best thing. Worked out an outro. The best thing from my point of view. We have 8.
Oh my God! Look at how clear that is. Look at how clear our fingers
The interesting thing is, though, we'll have to ask people. But the best thing. Worked out an outro. The best thing from my point of view. We have or even we'll have to ask them about.
Oh my God! Look at how clear that is. Look at how clear our fingers
The interesting thing is, though, we'll have to ask people. But the best thing. Worked out an outro. The best thing from my point of view. We have or even we'll have to ask them about.
Oh my God! Look at how clear that is. Look at how clear our fingers
The interesting thing is, though, we'll have to ask people. But the best thing. Worked out an outro. The best thing from my point of view. We have or even we'll have to ask them about.
Oh my God! Look at how clear that is. Look at how clear our fingers
The interesting thing is, though, we'll have to ask people. But the best thing. Worked out an outro. The best thing from my point of view. We have or even we'll have to ask them about.
Oh my God! Look at how clear that is. Look at how clear our fingers
The interesting thing is, though, we'll have to ask people. But the best thing. Worked out an outro. The best thing from my point of view. We have or even we'll have to ask them about.
Oh my God! Look at how clear that is. Look at how clear our fingers
The interesting thing is, though, we'll have to ask people. But the best thing. Worked out an outro. The best thing from my point of view. We have or even we'll have to ask them about.
Oh my God! Look at how clear that is. Look at how clear our
The
fingers
interesting thing is, though, we'll have to ask people. But the best thing. Worked out an outro. The best thing from my point of view. We have or even we'll have to ask them about.
Oh my God! Look at how clear that is. Look at how clear our
The
fingers
interesting thing is, though, we'll have to ask people. But the best thing. Worked out an outro. The best thing from my point of view. We have or even we'll have to ask them about.
Oh my God! Look at how clear that is. Look at how clear our
The
fingers
interesting thing is, though, we'll have to ask people. But the best thing. Worked out an outro. The best thing from my point of view. We have or even we'll have to ask them about.
Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how clear it is.
You'll have to ask him. But best webcam
Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how clear it is.
you'll have to ask him. But best
Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how clear it is.
you'll have to ask him. But
Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how clear it is.
you'll have to ask him.
Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how clear it is.
you'll have to ask him.
Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how clear it is.
you'll have to ask him.
Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how clear it is.
you'll have to ask him.
Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how clear it is.
you'll have to ask
Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how clear it is.
you'll have to ask
Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how clear Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how clear Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how clear Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God, look at how clear that is. Look at how Oh my God
That's That's Yep. Where am I? Yep. Where am I?
that attractive. But seeing her as Marla Singer from every film she's done since then, especially Tim Burton. But seeing her as Marla Singer, I love her face. Every film she's done since then,
you've sort of fallen in
seeing
love
her
with
as
her.
Marla Singer. Ryder is my other example.
Yep.
Seeing her in every film she's done since then.
When I went sort of fallen in love with
Marla Singer, Ryder is my other example. I found my old role. Seeing her every film she's done.
Speaking of, segue, perfect.
Beetlejuice 2. Every film she's done.
Speaking of, segue, perfect. Beetlejuice 2.
Dislike it.
Speaking of,
but I think
segue, perfect. Beetlejuice 2.
Dislike it.
Speaking of,
but I think
segue, perfect. Beetlejuice 2.
Dislike it.
Speaking of,
but I think
segue, perfect. Beetlejuice 2.
Dislike it.
Speaking of,
but I think
Beetlejuice 2.
Dislike it.
Speaking of,
but I think
Beetlejuice 2.
Dislike it.
Speaking of,
but I think
Beetlejuice 2.
Dislike it.
Speaking of,
but I think
Click on that one.
that one. New girl. It should be. That's not bad. Would you get married like that? It does. That's not bad. Would you get married like that? I've seen it. It does.
Another woman's finger, so he.
I've seen it. It does.
Another woman's finger, so he.
I've seen it. It does. 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 I've seen it.
Though Beetlejuice, I love. Edward Scissorhands, I in the actual movie was absolutely shithouse.
I've seen it.
Though Beetlejuice, I love. Edward Scissorhands,
I remember enjoying Sleeping on It. I've seen it.
That's a very Tim Burton.
I remember enjoying Sleepy Hollow. I've seen it. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow, I feel like
That's a very Tim Burton.
I remember enjoying Sleepy Hollow. I've seen it. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow, I feel like
That's a very Tim Burton.
I remember enjoying Sleepy Hollow. I've seen it. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow, I feel like
That's a very Tim Burton.
I remember enjoying Sleepy Hollow. I've seen it. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow, I feel like
That's a very Tim Burton.
I remember enjoying Sleepy Hollow. I've seen it. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow, I feel like
That's a very Tim Burton.
I remember enjoying Sleepy Hollow. I've seen it. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow, I feel like
That's a very Tim Burton.
I remember enjoying Sleepy Hollow. I've seen it. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow, I feel like
That's a very Tim Burton.
I remember enjoying Sleepy Hollow. I've seen it. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow, I feel like
That's a very Tim Burton.
I remember enjoying Sleepy Hollow. I've seen it. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow, I feel like
That's a very Tim Burton.
I remember enjoying Sleepy Hollow. I've seen it. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow, I feel like
That's a very Tim Burton.
It's okay. Are you all right? Trying to get
Euphemism.
What's that? Is local recording is complete. It's okay. Are you all right? Trying to get I'm a bit curious as to why we're going practically viewer free. We've got one view. I'm obviously watching it and keeping the chat room open. But with the second viewer, which I think might be, it's okay. Are you all right? I'm a bit curious as to why we're going practically viewer free. We've got one view. I'm obviously watching it and keeping the chat room open. But with the second viewer, which I D&G might be, it's okay. Are you all right? I'm a bit just curious as to why we're going surprisingly viewer free. We've got one view. I'm obviously watching it and keeping the chat room open. He's quite the movie buff. But that's all right. It's okay. Are you all right? I'm a bit. He just says, "Or is it?" Or is it? I just linked it. Yeah, just curious as to why. Yeah. So The Godfather. Surprisingly, I'm obviously watching it and keeping the chat room open. He's quite the movie buff. What else you got? That's right.
I think we should talk about the weekend in general.
The weekend in general. It's okay. We want to go with that. I want to start with AFC.
Or is it?
Just curious as to why. Yeah. So The Godfather. Surprisingly, I'm obviously watching it and keeping the chat room open. Oh, so they've all been. What else you got? The AFC's been. That's right.
I think we should talk about the weekend in general.
The weekend. Yeah. It's okay. We want to go with that. I want to start with AFC.
Or is it?
I find that a little bit challenging. But yeah, so I understand Godfather. Global based production and also chat room. Oh, so they've all been. What else you got? The AFC's been. That's right. Wow.
The weekend in general.
The weekend. Yeah. It's okay. We want to go with that. I want to start with AFC.
Or is it?
I find that a little bit challenging. But yeah, so I understand Godfather. Global based production and also chat room. Oh, so they've all been truly. The AFC's been. That's right.
The weekend in general.
The weekend. Yeah. It's okay. We want to go with that. I want to start with AFC.
Or is it?
I find that a little bit challenging. But yeah, so I understand Godfather. Global based production and also chat room. Oh, so they've all been truly. The AFC's been. That's right.
The weekend in general.
The weekend. Yeah. It's okay. We want to go with that. I want to start with AFC.
Or is it?
I find that a little bit challenging. But yeah, so I understand Godfather. Global based production and also chat room. Oh, so they've all been truly. The AFC's been. That's right.
The weekend in general.
The weekend. Yeah. It's okay. We want to go with that. I want to start with AFC.
Or is it?
I find that a little bit challenging. But yeah, so I understand Godfather. Global based production and also chat room. Oh, so they've all been truly. The AFC's been. That's right.
The weekend in general.
It's okay. We want to go with that. I want to start with AFC.
Or is it?
I find that a little bit challenging. But yeah, so I understand Godfather. Global based production and also chat room. Oh, so they've all been truly. The AFC's been. That's right.
The weekend in general.
It's okay. We want to go with that. I want to start with AFC.
Or is it?
I find that a little bit challenging. But yeah, so I understand Godfather. Global based production and also chat room. Oh, so they've all been truly. The AFC's been. That's right.
The weekend in general.
It's okay. We want to go with that. I want to start with AFC.
Or is it?
I find that a little bit challenging. But yeah, so I understand Godfather. Global based production and also chat room. Oh, so they've all been truly. The AFC's been. It's okay. We want to go with that. I want to start with AFC. There was a couple of. I find that a little bit challenging. But yeah, so I understand Godfather. Global based production and also chat room. Oh, so they've all been truly. The AFC's been. It's okay. We want to go with that. I want to start with AFC. There was a couple of. I find that a little bit challenging. But yeah, so I understand Godfather. Global based production and also chat room. Oh, That's why.
Oh, do we have both mics on?
And it's on a built.
You've just turned off the snowball, haven't you?
No, I didn't turn on snowball at all for the entire show. So that's going to really... Dale, I would like to apologise to you live on glorious HD 1080p, whatever it is. The audio, I get the feeling for the entire show, has not been up to scratch with the visual.
Oh, that doesn't matter. Lucky no one's listening. Well, Brian's on now.
AFC 10, back to the show.
Yep.
I just felt that there was a few instances, especially that guy that came from Sydney, I think it was, who literally said, oh, MMA is just a whole different game.
Oh, the boxer?
The boxer.
Oh, that was funny. That was so funny.
I don't understand how 20 years after... The UFC's been around for 20 years.
Yeah.
How can you possibly get into a cage on a professional card, these guys are getting paid, and then be like, oh, just boxing will get me by? How can you do that?
I don't know. Oh, look, I was really pleased with the fact that it wasn't... Like, I'm not saying it wasn't unprofessional, but there were a lot of fighters there that was their first fight, or that had, a couple of fights. There were guys that had 15 fights and stuff like that. But I was really, really pleased with the fact that it was, a lot of guys were having their first fights, and not necessarily, 18-year-old kids getting their first fights. Like, we had, guys in their 30s having their first fights and stuff like that.
I was very pleased by the fact that there was a number of first fighters who were 30 or over.
Yeah.
Because being a 31-year-old myself,
Yep.
It made me think that I don't have any aspirations of world domination when it comes to my mixed martial arts, but I like the idea of possibly having a few MMA fights and having a bit of an amateur career, as it were. Career is a strong word, but you know what I mean. The idea of getting in there and having a go. And my goal has always been to do not everything, but to have a broad spectrum and not just focus on one individual discipline. And seeing those guys that were 30 and they were getting in there and they were able to have a go made me think, you know what? I should put a little bit more effort into being a broader spectrum, because there's a chance. Yeah. You could have a go. So, I really liked the fact that there was a good mix of fighters and first fighters as well. Yeah. And you know what? The fact that they were first-time fighters didn't disappoint. No. At all.
Oh, they weren't rusty, crazy amateurs or anything in the ring.
No.
There was, I guess there was people that were a bit nervous, and that was a good fight. Maybe stopped a little bit early, but...
That was the one where it was the armbar, wasn't it?
No, that was the 10-second knockout.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't... Yeah, I thought the armbar one was quite controversial in my opinion. Yeah.
But look,
we won't talk about that one. We'll talk about the armbar one. Was it that one?
No. Wasn't that one?
No, that was the first. That was Dan.
Yeah.
Wasn't those guys either.
Wasn't that?
No, that was... Talgott was very impressive. Talgott was very impressive and quite creepy.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Was the armbar on the third fight?
Yeah. I think it was, yeah.
That one? No, it wasn't that one.
No, that was
the
was
blood.
the boxer guy.
That was the bloody one.
Yeah. Anyway, the armbar happened where they were up against the cage.
The ring.
Sorry, they were up against the ropes, and the guy grabbed the arm, went for the armbar, and fell back through
the ropes. I question when I'm rolling and I know that I've got the wall next to me. I know that there's no point me going for an armbar that means I'm going to fall through into the wall.
Yeah, but the wall's different to the ropes.
Yeah, but wouldn't you think that I know that it's there? I can't. If I do that, I'm possibly going to fall out. The guy pulling the armbar had half his head on the table below the ring, which was silly to me.
But that wasn't the one that got stopped early, was it?
It got stopped early, in my opinion, because even though the fighter screamed out in pain, had the arm fully extended.
No, I think that was a different fight.
Was that a different one?
That was a different fight because the one that got stopped early got stopped in the middle of the ring. That was the crazy guy from Queensland.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jamie. I was so impressed by that guy because he was so zany.
The crazy hair guy
with the mustache.
He clearly gets his mustache looking very nice during the week.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with him as well because I didn't expect him to be that good coming into it because he looked a little bit unsure. He didn't look like he knew what was going on and stuff. But once he got in there, his technique was technically atrocious. Like his stand-up technically looked terrible.
He got a few good shots, though.
But he got a lot of good shots.
Yeah.
He was a very good fighter with a really unorthodox style, and it
Yeah.
was very impressive to see. And he dominated the other guy quite convincingly.
Yeah, like I remember other Jamie, strength and conditioning coach Jamie
Crawford.
I said to her, I reckon this guy's going to get smashed. The other guy, like the one that the one that lost, I said he's going to get smashed because I thought this guy's got no record. Like, but it turns out he'd actually won his last 3 fights, kind of thing. And the other guy had only had 2 fights, lost one, won one. Yeah. So that's him.
That's them there, but that's probably going to change by the time I...
No, that's a video, that one.
Yeah, I know it is,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
I'm going to play the video, see what happens. Probably should have waited
Doesn't
until
matter.
it was ready. Yeah, so the armbar one that I'm obviously confusing because that one with the zany guy...
Yeah. That was the armbar that was stopped.
That was the armbar that was stopped early because he pulled back and he got the armbar. The guy yelled out. The ref stupidly jumped on top of the arm, which would technically
I remember you saying that.
He jumped on top of it, which would hyperextend it further and make it worse.
Yeah.
As the guy underneath was rolling out of it. It wasn't a tight armbar.
No.
Don't get me wrong, I'm sure his arm got jacked.
Yeah.
I've had my elbow still sore from getting jacked in the exact same way. I'm sure that the guy had his arm hurt, no question, but he was rolling out of it and could have continued.
The way I look at it is I know what it's like to be armbarred, and I know what my arm is like in armbars, and I'm quite flexible, and I get out of quite a few armbars in exactly the same way that the guy last night got out of the armbar. Like if you can roll into it, sort of thing. And it's always in competitions, it's kind of a fear of mine that something like that will happen.
Yep.
Where the referee will stop the fight.
We'll jump in early thinking that you're in trouble.
I'm in trouble, whereas I know I'm not in trouble. Like I can, if I get Americana'd on my left arm, I can virtually have my elbow pointing to the roof and I'm not in any trouble at all. Like I can roll out of it, sort of thing.
And that's why the ref has, as the attempted Joe Rogan guy last night in the salmon shirt, he kept trying to say, guys, just calm down, let's have a chat. Which I thought, although it felt a bit awkward, I thought was great. Because he was trying to say, let's get the ref's opinion of what he was doing. Yep. Unfortunately, the refs have been told, stand your ground, don't give in anything.
Yeah, of course.
So they're just standing there saying, I had the fighter's best interest thing.
And that's I'm happy with that.
It's better than...
If it had have been Dan's fight or it had have been Talgett's fight that had gone like that, I'd be spitting chips and I'd be throwing water bottles at the ring. However, look, I'm not saying that the teams who their fighters lost aren't doing that, But it would be different if it was a dominance guy.
Yeah, if it was one
And
of our
and
guys.
I completely agree with the stoppage, both of them, the 10-second knockout stoppage, and I agree with I have to agree with the ref's decision in the armbar situation as well. You have to, because look, I wasn't in the ring, I don't know. So, he did say he saw the arm hyperextend.
He didn't though, because the arm didn't hyperextend because the guy was rolling out of it when
There was a point where the arm was in the armbar position. We'll
it was
say that.
fully extended
Yep.
in the armbar position.
Yep.
No question
Yep.
at all right there. But in my opinion, it didn't hyperextend because he didn't have the option. Again, I agree with you on the fact that if you're the ref,
Yep.
you've got to do what's best for the
Yep.
fighters. You're right there.
Yep.
There is heat of the moment. Sure, refs make mistakes. Refs make the correct call when everyone else thinks it's the wrong call, for
Yep.
sure. But to me, it was the way the ref jumped on it.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And the way he called it a little bit too early makes me think that he's watched the UFC, this is technically an armbar.
Yeah.
He hasn't rolled, he doesn't know
Yeah.
where an armbar is.
Yeah.
He doesn't, and in my opinion, with something like an armbar, it's like when you watch those, you watch those submissions where the arm is coming round or it's being manipulated and the person doesn't tap. It's the person's arm. It's up to them when they want to stop. When the arm breaks, when the elbow pops, that's when the ref can jump in and say, no, you're being a dickhead. You tap, that you're done.
Yeah.
Until that point, you've got to leave it.
Yeah.
It's like that jiu-jitsu one not that long ago where the girl's arm was being bent back over a thing. The ref should have jumped in when the arm was being bent past.
Yeah, but the ref
point.
might not have seen that. And look,
Sure.
that's a big it's a big tournament sort of thing, and there was stuff on the line. I'm not saying AFC isn't a big tournament. It's like Australia's leading, Melbourne's
leading, yeah.
Yeah, but end of the day, ref's decision's final. That's you may not agree with it, but
you've kind of got to say the same thing that Dana says all the time: of don't leave it in there. Don't let yourself get into a full armbar extension to then have to try and justify that it wasn't.
Yeah. And that goes back to what I was saying before about, I worry because of my flexibility in my shoulders, I might get to a position where the ref might have to stop the fight, thinking I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I should just not let myself get into that position.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, the other fight on the card, the one Catabig and James Longdurham, or his name was just then, that was a 10-second knockout. Look, when I initially watched the replay, I thought maybe the opponent had slipped backwards. He definitely got hit. Like, you can't deny that. One or two of those punches hit him flush on the chin. But look, with 10 seconds into the fight, you kind of think someone could probably last a little bit longer than that. But as the referee had said, he saw his eyes rolling back in his head.
Yeah, that was an interesting one, given that he did his feet. Like, I watched it, and I'm going to use my hands up in front of the camera here. His feet were in position, correct. He got hit, and his feet both went level.
Yeah,
and he was on his heels.
Yeah,
and he went back. There was no question of that. So maybe he got like half rocked.
Yep,
and went down.
Yep. And look, the shot he took when he was down was a hard shot.
Yeah.
So,
that one was definitely another one where it felt like it was a close call, and you do have to go with the whole look. We're not trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
We need to be safe.
Yeah. And
so,
end of the day, you'd much prefer to. Well, I don't know how the fighter's mentality is, but you'd prefer to have a loss on your record, lose the fight, and live to fight another day, rather than have your arm broken, take 6 months, to a year off.
You look at, I said it to Jamie last night, Dan Kelly was meant to be fighting on the card, was unable to due to a broken collarbone.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he was talking about it when he was in the ring getting a little interview, it made complete sense that he is thinking long term. He's not a spring chicken.
No.
He's got to worry about the fact that his body might give up soon.
But Dan he's just ripe with injuries. Like his knee is stuffed.
I've heard and seen. I think I saw something when he was on the Ultimate Fighter, where it was like ice on both knees and trying to.
Yeah, his everything is stuffed.
Like,
so
he gets
judo and
and 4-time Olympian, So getting a broken collarbone and then saying, look, guys, I can't fight because if I do it, it'll break something else, which then will be long term out. This is short term out as opposed to long term. Which was really good.
But exactly like you said, he's not a spring chicken. And,
no.
And I think, much like we were kind of touching on before, it would be fantastic for Dan if he could, from the discussions I've heard were if he were able to rack up a couple more wins,
he's been told that the door's
Dana
open.
White will give him another shot in the UFC.
That's what I've heard as well via our contacts.
And he'd won one fight, and this fight would have been the other one. And look, it would be a fantastic incentive for him. If he had fought and won the title last night, that'd be a great wide open door for the UFC for him. Yeah. Unfortunately, he'd have to vacate the title and to fight in the UFC.
Yep. But, as you said, managing getting it back.
Yeah.
But if he's only out for a short period, there's the chance that he could get it back again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look, I'm sure the next AFC or possibly the one after he might be back and can fight for the title.
Some people, if they were watching Metamoris the other week, if they were watching the countdown type shows, they might have seen Talgett
on Kit Dale's one.
The gentleman with his no top and his hand up there. That was a creepy fight. And I'll tell you why. Talgett was ridiculously calm. He was weirding me out with how calm and just casual he was.
But this is a man that's been wrestling, doing judo and stuff for 25
30,
years.
Yeah,
25 years.
He, I remember I'm watching. He's impressed me when I've gone to a wrestling class, and the guy does full on horizontal in the air leaps and then tuck roll as part of the war. He's an absolute beast. But walking into the ring and then standing there and stuff, he was just so relaxed and calm.
But he between rounds he was buggered. Like I heard that he lactic acid was just crazy in his arms, and his arms were like stone. I think the unfortunate thing is, and I don't know if you're aware of this, but Talgett's actually broken his hand.
Oh,
in the fight. Yeah, and
wow.
I when I was watching, I assumed it was from when he was punching the mat, but that was actually his right hand. So yeah, his left hand is broken, like
Bugger.
One of the bones there, and so he obviously he couldn't go to the hospital last night because 11:30 on a Saturday night the hospital would just be full of gunshot victims and whatever was going on in Melbourne that night.
Drunks and idiots.
But on top of being the wrestling coach at Dominance, Talgett's got a full-time job, so hopefully he can still work. And
I loved the fact that in that fight he was holding back his punches, which showed how calm he was. He had the guy from behind, and it was like, wait for it, then hit. Instead of being one of those guys that's just throwing all these punches and gassing himself out.
But that was the instruction he was getting from the side of the corner. They were saying, set it up before you take the shot.
Exactly, but that's
because
brilliant.
we could see what he was doing. Like when he had mount, he was going for it, and the other fighter was just doing this. So Talgett's punching the mat.
But I was very impressed, and then for him to get that, you watched it in the replay. His hands were under the guy's head, neck or wherever it was, and the hands just really slowly came together. And then he just slowly started cranking. It came round, and then we all thought from where we were sitting that the guy was out, and that he'd gotten off, and the ref had jumped in and said, "Yeah, he's out. The fight's over." But in the replay, you saw the tap come in
because it was a Von Flue choke, which
it was brilliant.
Yeah, it's. I actually thought when I was watching, I thought Talgett had been submitted. Because,
okay.
Yeah, because he had
The other guy still had the
yeah,
the headlock.
that's what you do with the Von Flue choke. When they go for a guillotine, you put your pressure through the shoulder.
Yep.
Which on the neck it makes them
It was shoulder into the neck, and then I think it was it Talget's arm came on the other side of the neck and got
it's called
it.
a Von Flue choke. Like Jason Von Flue was in The Ultimate Fighter.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
He executed it really, really well. So yeah, they were especially for the dominance people, they were the big highlights.
They were great.
To see both guys get really quite dominant and
Dominant, get it?
dominant, yeah, very dominant victories. They were never not in control. It was good.
Yeah. Did you stay for the final fight? I remember you guys left, but I wasn't.
Yeah, we left after the final.
The title fight?
Yeah, we saw the title fight, didn't we? The two lightweights.
No, I don't think you guys did.
Left halfway through because
It was so boring.
Oh, that was the title fight. Yeah, the two lightweights who I went by the standard of the lightweights will be running around like crazy with lots of energy, and they weren't.
No,
they were pretty average.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, it was rather shit. I missed most of that fight because I was catching up with my friend Monique, but schmoozing. I just remember, once I was watching it going, this is not up to the standard of the other fights that have been on the card.
No, not at all.
This is round 3. This is round 4. This is the final round, and there was one of the other dominance people who possibly had a little bit too much to drink last night was chanting, this is shit.
Well, he at one point we were all sitting sort of talking, and he's watching it, and then all of a sudden, without any instigation, has just turned and gone, "This is shit." So yeah, he obviously stepped it up to go for the chant as well. Yeah, I think we got to. Was it you, Jamie, that said, "Oh, it's almost over," and then we went, "No, this is 5 rounds."
Yeah.
Because we got to the 3rd round, and it was like, "Oh well, this is crap."
Struggled through 3 rounds.
Yeah. So we were thinking, okay, I think it was before that fight, at the end of Talget's, there was a sort of a simmering of the people that we were giving a lift home, saying, "Are we done? Can we go now?" And then it was like, "Oh no, let's stay for another one. Let's get our money's worth. Watch another one." It got to the 3rd round, and it was like, "Okay, no, we're good to go now." Yeah, which is a shame. You never know. Shit's going to happen, and we're not. As much as it's awesome that these guys are fighting and it costs a lot of money and they're getting paid or whatever, they're still not. We're out. This is the amateurs in a way.
Yeah.
It's the lower leagues. It's AAA baseball. It's not. It's the VFA, not the VFL. Or it's the VF nowadays. Sorry, it's the VFL, not the AFL.
Yeah.
It's not the big leagues.
No.
So yeah,
Big League Chew.
I've been for the last 20-30 minutes. I've been holding off. Oh, okay. Yeah. I've been holding off the need to urinate.
Oh.
Would you be able to hold the fort for 5 minutes?
Absolutely, absolutely. I will just look at the camera and go, "Do you like pickles?" And
what I'll do is I'll say, "Brian, have you got a question for Dale whilst I'm heading off?" Because normally we have many more people in the studio audience. Careful of that one. We want to make sure that stays attached. Many more people in the audience, but
no.
Do you want to actually hold that instead of very awkward moment?
Those wires are up?
Yeah, just as long as none of them come out from the side there. Although
they're kind of around stuff.
Yeah, so it'll cut you.
Very nice improvements. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, tell Brian about the camera because he might have missed the first part. Talking about we've got the new camera.
We have a new camera, and it's a very nice camera.
It's very high def.
It's high definition. It's buffering. Oh, there we go. Buy us a camera because Gavin does so much work during the week to get all this stuff started and put stuff online, and I don't know how to do any of that. So it's my addition to why am I not moving?
I don't know.
Gavin, I think I've broken it. I think I've broken the podcast. Oh, look out. Gavin, you look different. You're in picture. Perfect streaming. There we go. We like that. What were we saying?
We were talking about cameras.
Cameras,
and,
yeah. So
high def.
Brian was meant to ask me a question, but he hasn't.
No.
He said it's very nice.
I'll stand over here then.
He broke it, and I tried to fix it, and I didn't touch it. And
I'm just so happy with this camera. So happy. And I'm extra happy Gavin's back because he knows how to fix it.
Around the mic.
I think that's it. What was it, AFC?
Yeah, no, I can't think of anything else.
No.
The I had a feeling with what's happened? Why has that stopped?
Perfect streaming.
Says perfect streaming, but it ain't moving. And then that's happening there. Oh no. No, that's still attached.
Cool.
I think it's still there. If I shit, things are freezing. Fuck.
No, we're good. Uh-oh.